This is Echoes of Grace.
Hello, people of God. Welcome back on Echoes of Grace with your favorite host, Queen Akpana Benedicta. This is where real voices share true stories and God's grace is resounded. Every week, like you know, we open doors to amazing testimonies, people sharing uplifting testimonies that heal and revive us and truly tell us that God's grace is evident in our lives daily. This week, we're going to have another amazing guest who is coming to share his testimony with us. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, my dear brother. Welcome on the show. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alan. I'm a makeup artist, and I'm also a style enthusiast.
Wow.
Yes. Currently, what I'm wearing, I made it.
Ooh.
Yes, and that's just about it about me.
You see, he's a makeup artist and a style enthusiast. I'm just hearing that word for the first time, you know. Anyways, welcome on the
A
show.
style lover.
Oh, okay. I mean, I try.
Yes, of course. Yes. Yes, you did.
Welcome on the show.
Thank you. For
This is
having me.
Echoes of Grace, where we relax, we heal, we live, and we testify to God's grace and goodness in our lives. I'm sure as a human being, God has been good, irrespective of whatever it is. But let's start with this. Tell us something, a point in your life where you felt like God has abandoned you.
I've had a few moments actually where
We're here
felt-
to listen, enjoy.
I've had a few moments in my life where I felt, God had abandoned me, starting from when I newly entered, or should I say, ventured into my career as a makeup artist.
Oh,
It would be so funny to know, actually, really interestingly, that I never actually knew that the road was going to lead into becoming a makeup artist. Yeah, starting from when I finished school and I was living with my aunt, and I was a thorn in her flesh because I was always eating her food every day, and she would always tell me that, go out, go walk, say your mates,
yeah.
they walk, you did my house, you did chop my food, things like that. And then I remember when she introduced me to a friend of hers who eventually came. I didn't even know it was their plan, so they bundled me and took me out to give me a job. Like I was forcefully,
Wow.
given that job at that time, and then I just had to do it. Guess the job anyway.
What job is that?
It was a job of a gate man.
Oh.
Yes, that was when I felt like, what, this is my worst, and God has actually really, really forgotten about me. And
Your aunt, for that matter, you can imagine.
oh no, I don't think she knew that that
Oh.
was the job the guy
Okay.
was going to give
Oh.
to me. Anyway, fast forward to where I became a makeup artist. I became a makeup artist from becoming a gate man.
Wow.
Right? Yes, of course. Yeah, that period, it was really, really difficult for me. It wasn't so easy. The advice to actually joining House of Tara at that time, because I finished from House of Tara as a makeup artist. I became a makeup artist from joining House of Tara. Yeah, it came from my boss's wife then, because she saw something in me at that time. I never even knew. So I would just sit at the gate and I'll see her come out of the house and then go out with like her normal jogging suit, and I'll think, oh, she's just going to jog. And then she comes in back with like a
Gele.
professionally tied gele and a full face beat. And I'll be wondering, where did she do all of these things from? I didn't even know anything about makeup artistry as of that time, but what prompted it was one very particular fine time I just, thought to, because I used to draw. I used to really like to draw ladies, good eyebrows and all that, And then one day I just thought, I picked up an eyebrow pencil that I bought, I think, from a drugstore, playfully, and then did one of her maids, not her face, just the eyebrow. And then she came back one day and she was like, who did you, talo she makeup you for, that thing, talo she eyebrow for, and her hair. I just did like that donut thing. And then she now said, oh, that it was me that did it. So she didn't come to me immediately. So one very fine day she came and then she advised me. She gave me a newspaper and then showed me and said, this is a makeup outlet that I can just take out my time on my off day to go see, how these things are done, that they do things like this there. I can even start from there since she could see that I had a flair for that sort of thing. And she told me one thing. She said, I don't belong to the gate.
Oh my God.
Do you understand me? But interestingly, I didn't belong to the gate, but I was really, really resilient at the work because I didn't have a choice. It was what I just needed to do at that time to get things
survive.
going for me. Yes.
And so you felt like God abandoned you. That's why He sent you to the gate.
Yes, yes. But I didn't know that was actually God's plan to push me to where I am, even if I know that I have actually not gotten anywhere yet. Anyway.
Wow.
Yes.
What a fine experience. I'll call it an experience because God just has a way of orchestrating His plan to fall in place for His children, regardless. I'm really grateful for your testimony. I call it testimony because though we will see it as our downtime where we feel like God has abandoned us, but that is God also giving you a testimony for where He's taking you to next. And that brings me to my next question. So have you had an experience where if you share with people, it will sound like a lie? Something God has done for you that if you share with people, it will sound like a lie. But within you, God did this.
I feel like that was the transitioning from becoming a gate man to a makeup artist.
Wow.
Always still feel. There was a guy one time I met in front of my office where I currently work now. I forgot what the guy came to me for. I think he came for a job and all that. And I gave him listening ears. And then I told him, I said, there's nothing God cannot actually do. I asked him first. I said, does he know God? I said, are you a Christian or a Muslim? He said he was a Christian. I said, okay, do you know God? Do you know that God can actually change things for you? Because as really clumpy as your story might actually sound, you're headed somewhere from here. If nobody would listen to you, I will listen to you, and I'll tell you that as I'm listening to you here now, that you are looking this way. Do you understand? I will still listen to you when you are maybe in a Porsche or in your Rolls Royce someday. Do you understand me? So I was just trying to motivate him. I said, this man that you're looking at right now, the way he was looking at me, I said, do you know that I have opened a gate before? Like I've worked as a gate man before. He couldn't believe it. It seemed like a lie. In fact, he changed his face. It was like, is this guy whining me? Do you understand? So I said, no, I'm not actually whining you. I've worked as a gate man before. In fact, I almost lost my life.
Wow.
Do you know, working as a gate man? He was really perplexed. He was shocked that it was actually possible. I'm like, yes, everything is actually possible. I didn't believe it at the time. Do you understand? At least now I'm a living testimony that God does work wonders.
Amazing.
So that very transition alone, do you understand me, was a heavy experience. And anytime I look back and I reflect, and I'm always like, God really, really has done so much. Many times if I'm experiencing a downtime in my life, even currently as we speak, I just look back to that time and I look at now, I look at how far God has actually really, really brought me. There are things I couldn't even afford then, many years ago, that's in fact now I'll be like, do you understand me? Is it me that can afford this amount of square meals per day? Do you understand? And I don't even ask for it, they just come. The kinds of clientele, the kinds of people that I meet, the people that I even, have to have the privilege to touch their faces, would I have ever thought, that it would ever be? Do you get me? So yeah, the transitioning is really an explosive one for me, and I don't take it for granted at all.
God is amazing.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes,
guys, you can tell from my face because he did my makeup. You can imagine that.
Yours
you know,
truly.
God has a way of connecting people.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter your situation. Imagine if he had not taken that job as a gate man and then transitioned from there to, because he saw what the Oga's wife was, doing, and decided to practice. And today he's better. And now look at him doing makeup for me. And today we're here to testify to God's goodness.
Yes.
If not for that grace, where will we be today?
Yes.
So do not take God's grace for granted. Do not take God's time for granted. I mean, through your makeup, job and experiences, have you had time where people, you encounter situations and then you be like, this is my God moment. I'm still here. God is still with me all through. And then you also try to, pass the message to others by showing them that God is love. God loves us regardless.
Of course, yes, I have. I've had so many moments. I've had moments where I just go back and I'll be like, no, no, no. It's obviously God, that continues to pave ways by sending, people in different times, especially when I least expected. Do you understand me? So yes, of course, every moment has just been, even when I, experience, lower moments, especially when I experience times with certain people that, looks at me and then sees me as somebody that would never, judgmental, or people that will see me as someone that would never really amount to anything. Do you understand me? I still look up and I'll be like, anyway, if you could actually do what you did, that you would, it means that you would definitely, this is even a sign that definitely I'm getting somewhere. So
Amazing.
Yes, I couldn't be more prouder.
Wow.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
I mean, that brings me to this, we as humans, we tend to judge each other too harshly. You are not God. You are not God's mouthpiece. God does not need your permission to bless the next person. That's where we miss it, because we expect too much from people. Instead of just loving them, he gave us a commandment: love your neighbor as yourself. And then just the way, he started by saying, just the way he has loved us, we should love each other. And then he went back and said, no, love your neighbor as yourself, because he knows you love yourself. So love your neighbor regardless, because God is God and God is perfect. You are not the one to do God's business for him. He will do his will, his own way, however he wants it, irrespective of your differences, your opinion. God is still God and God is perfect. I mean, God loves us. Look at us today.
Of course.
Everything we've passed through, every experiences we've had, whatever it is, you look back and just realize that I survived that.
Shaped us,
so today I can survive a bigger one. It's so wonderful to have you on the show. I mean, how is the makeup business? How is it? Is it something I can come and learn?
Of course. Why not? Please do me
Okay.
that pleasure.
Anyway,
please.
let me not take that away from him. I love my space. I love my position. I love where God has brought me to, and I think the bigger job lies with you yourself. Wherever you find yourself, whatever you're doing, be it makeup, be it costume, be it hairdressing, barbing salon, whatever it is, be it a restaurant, anything you're doing, infuse the love of God in it. And that way, people will testify because of you. I mean, that boss now would have forgotten that they did something for you without even knowing, although you were admiring the gele, the makeup that she goes up, and then you practice that. And today, people cross our path for different reasons. And I'm grateful that you let that experience shape you.
That it
happened. Is your, and do not, nobody has a right to tell people their God moments. You are the only one that have the experience. So you know that this is my God moment. This is God to me. This is what God means to me. And this is God's blessing to me. And this is what God has done for me. So I'm grateful to have you here.
Thank you.
And I hope I will see more of you. We will patronize you more so that the ministry can keep moving, and will spread this God's love to others to know that God has not abandoned them. God does not abandon his children. You might be going through a tough time. You might be going through a tough phase. You are down. You're depressed. You're angry at things that have happened in life. You are pain over a situation. Your boss is mistreating you. Your office is not, you're not happy going to work. It doesn't matter. In that situation, take a moment and just say a prayer to God. God, give me peace. God, give me a solution. Help me to find my feet. Help me to find my purpose in life. Because nothing makes you more fulfilled than a God purpose in your life. If you find your God purpose, that is when you are truly fulfilled to say, this is my life. This is my happy life. Even if you don't have money, you don't have, the luxury things of life, but you have peace. And that supersedes everything. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this episode of Echoes of Grace. I hope you've enjoyed the show, because we definitely had so much fun out here. And do not forget, share, like, and support, this program. Because without you, we would not be here. We're here to make you happy. We want to also get a feedback from you to know that we're doing something right for you. If you have your testimonies, there's an email down there. You can drop your testimonies. There's a phone number there. You can call, reach out to us to share your story with us so that somebody can be inspired. This is a safe space, like you already know. We come here, we don't judge people, we don't look down on people, we don't make you feel less. We just want to celebrate what God is doing in our lives, in your life, and in everybody's life. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you again next week. God bless you.
This is Echoes of Grace.